Hey there, this is Jeff from Drop Zone Off-Road. Thanks for taking a minute to review the installation guide for our JL taillight guards. Today we have a Tahitian teal taillight guard that we're going to be installing on an OEM Jeep taillight. It's on our test bench in the shop right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. It's important to notice that this is for the halogen taillight guards. This is not for the LEDs. The LEDs are more of an eye shape or an hourglass shape. This is for the square halogen shape. Also, the sides of the tail lights are different. The longer side and the shorter side. The longer side always goes toward the outside of the Jeep. So we'll be using the passenger side on the passenger side tail light here. So here I have our passenger side tail light guard. It's important to note that when you put this on, you want the temperature to be between 70 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Now you can go down as low as 50, but it's not recommended. The warmer it is, between 70 and 100, the better the bonding is going to be on the adhesive. So what we're going to do first is give it a dry test run. We're going to put this on without taking the backing off of the adhesive so that we know how it goes on and we don't fumble around with it when the adhesive is ready to pull on. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the long part, stick it right on the tail light, and then with a little bit of force, you're going to push it toward the center of the Jeep. Now this is the center of the Jeep. Remember, this is the passenger side tail light guard. You're going to push it toward the center of the Jeep just a little bit, and at the same time I'm using my other hand to pull the short end of the tail light guard across the tail light. It's going to go right on. Okay, now remember, we did not take the adhesive off, so it's not permanently installed right now. We want to get this as close to straight and vertical and centered up as we can. So here it looks like I'm just a hair low. I'm going to take the whole taillight guard and push it up just a little bit. There we go. Get all the lights good and centered so that the brake lights are not restricted. And we're good to start with the actual assembly. So now that we have our taillight centered, our taillight guard centered up on our taillight, we want to remove it to make the installation actually permanent. Now, the only difficulty is going to be that there's a hinge right here for your back door on the passenger side. On the driver's side, you don't have that hinge to worry about. But for the passenger side, I'll just grab it at the bottom here, and again, pushing the outside of the taillight toward the center of the Jeep and pulling the taillight guard off gently and carefully. There's a couple materials that we're going to need for the installation of the JL taillights guards. You need a couple small pieces of cardboard, just about 1 inch wide and 2 inches long. You'll need masking tape or painter's tape. Either one of them will work. Anything stickier is going to leave residue on the taillight itself. We don't want that. Also going to need some alcohol, cleaning alcohol, and some kind of a wipe, a cotton swab, or alcohol swabs work well too. And I also have a pick to help me get the sticky off the back of the tape that we're using. So the first thing that I want to do is prepare the tail light for the installation. I'm going to take my cardboard that I already cut here. I'm going to line it up with the back of the tail light. Now I don't want to be on top of the adhesive strip. I want to be off of the adhesive strip, but still on the tail light guard itself. Now the piece that I've cut here, pre-cut, is too wide. I want to make that just a little bit thinner. So I cut that down, and that's just about right there. I'm going to also do the same thing for the other side. It's a little bit too wide. Cut it down, and it's thin enough that it won't be in the way. It's not on the tape, but it is on the inside of the taillight guard. Now I need to tape these in place. I'm going to flip my taillight guard down. So the cardboard is leaned up against there. Take my masking tape or painter's tape, whichever one you may have. And I just want to tape this gently to the outside of the taillight, keeping in mind that it's going to come off soon, so you don't need to really push it on there too hard. Do the same thing on the other side. And now we have our taillight guard itself prepared for the installation. The next thing I want to do is prepare the actual taillight itself, and that's just going to be give it a quick cleaning with an alcohol swab, alcohol wipe, or in this case I'm just using a paper towel. We'll throw a little bit on there, and we want to clean off the side where the tape is going to go. You want to make sure that's clean and dry before you actually start your installation. We're going to let this sit just a minute, make sure it's dry, and we'll come back for the installation. So now we've let our alcohol cleaning dry just a little bit, and it really only takes a few seconds, so it doesn't take that long. I want to take the adhesive strip backing off of the adhesive strip, and that way I'm ready for the permanent installation on our taillight guard. I have a pick here that I'm using to help me get the backing started. And this can be a little bit tedious, but it will come right up. There's our adhesive strip. Now it's important you do not touch this adhesive strip. You don't want to get any finger oils or any contaminants on that adhesive strip. And remember, that's why we have a space between our cardboard spacers and the adhesive strip itself. Now I'm ready to put this on the tail light. So here, I'm going to, again, put that on the side just like we did when we dry fit it without the adhesive strip. And I'm going to push it hard toward the center of the Jeep, at the same time pulling out this side. And you want to make sure that it goes on, your spacers are staying in place, your cardboard, and you want to keep it toward the center of the Jeep as much as you can. Now, it's installed, except now we have the spacers that we have to remove. Before I remove the spacers, I want to verify that everything is lined up just like I want it and it's not blocking any of my light. Look straight into it, and it's definitely high where it is. I'll push it down, centered that right where it is, and because the adhesive is not actually on the tail light itself, we were able to move it still with the spacers, with the cardboard spacers installed. Now that I have it exactly where I want it to be, I can see my top and my bottom. The sides look good. The bar in the middle is lined up so that we can see the entire backup light. I'm ready to take my spacers out. So now that we have our taillight guard lined up exactly where we want to keep it, we're going to take the spacers out. That's going to allow the tape to compress with the force of the metal, and the tape is going to contact the side of the taillight fixture, and it will become a permanent bond at that time. So what I want to do is put some pressure back against the Jeep, against the taillight on both sides, the best that I can, and I'm going to take this tape off. You're going to take the masking tape off. It should just peel right up pretty easily. Okay, I'm going to take the tape top and take the tape on the bottom. Remember, there's a hinge on the Jeep right about here, so I'm not putting my hand in there. You don't need to. But this is on our test bench, so we don't have that hinge to deal with. The tape comes up, and then you want to verify that you have everything lined up exactly where you want it. Again, it's a permanent installation. In fact, I might move it up just a hair there. There we go. Now it looks really good. And I'm going to remove my spacers, top and bottom. Spacer comes out of the top. Spacer comes out of the bottom. Now that contact has been made with the adhesive strip to the taillight assembly itself. And that's your permanent bond. Now, in order for it to become a successful bond, you need to minimize the movement on this taillight guard for the next 72 hours is ideal. That'll give it 100% strength. If you let it go for 24 hours, you're up to about 90% strength. If you decide you want to take your Jeep out immediately and you only let it sit for 20 minutes, you're only at 50% strength of the tape. So best to leave it for 72 hours if you can. So now that we have our JL taillight guard assembly in place and it's adhered to the taillight body, we want to make sure that the adhesive is all the way up and down as best we can. Remember, there's a hinge that sits approximately right here, so we're just going to kind of push it against the taillight the best that we can up and down. and that's about all you're going to need. So it is important to notice that this adhesive is considered to be a permanent adhesive. Is it removable? The answer is yes, it is removable. Is it difficult? The answer is yes, it's going to be very difficult to remove. That's going to be in the next video. We're going to use the same assembly to demonstrate the removal, but for this video, this is just the installation. So consider it permanent, but yes, it is possible to remove with a little bit of elbow grease. So thanks again for watching our JL taillight guard installation video from Drop Zone Off-Road. We're pretty excited about this product. It is considered to be a permanent installation because of the adhesive that's being used, but it's the only product on the market that also provides protection around a lot more area of the tail light. Also, we offer a lot of custom design work, so if Jeep Beach Scene is not your thing, we provide just about any other design that you can think of. If there is a design out there that you have in mind and you can't find anywhere, send us a link, send us an email, send us a picture, and we'll see if we can do something for you. The driver's side installation is exactly the same as what we just showed you on the passenger side, except obviously you're still pushing toward the center of the Jeep, but you'll be pushing in that direction, not this direction, because you're over here on the driver's side. Again, thanks again for watching the video. If you have any questions, concerns, send us an email, let us know. Drop Zone Off-Road, you can find us on Etsy, you can find us on dropzoneoffroad.com. Look forward to seeing you out on the trails. Thanks again.